What if I told you that one man fooled Hitler, misled Churchill, and changed the course of World War II without ever firing a shot? He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't even a trained spy. He was a failed businessman with a wild imagination and a quiet obsession with deception. This is the story of Juan Pujol García, codename Garbo, the double agent who ran a web of 27 fake spies, tricked the Nazis into defending the wrong beaches on D-Day, and walked away from the war as the man who fooled everyone. No explosions, no chase scenes, just lies, layered like a masterpiece. This is Bold Chapter's deep dive into the spy who fooled Hitler. Every life is a story, but some are unbelievable. This is Bold Chapter. Chapter 1. The Reluctant Patriot. Juan Pujol was born in Barcelona in 1912. He wasn't raised to be a spy. He hated violence. He avoided politics, avoided war, and even tried to dodge military service during the Spanish Civil War. But when World War II erupted, Pujol had one goal. He wanted to help the Allies, not because he was a trained agent, but because he hated totalitarianism. There was just one problem. The British didn't want him. He applied multiple times to work with British intelligence. Each time they said no. So he did something insane. He became a spy anyway. Chapter 2. The Fake Nazi Agent. Rejected by the British, Juan turned to the enemy. He approached Nazi intelligence in Madrid and offered to spy on the British on their behalf. They accepted. Pujol didn't actually go to London. He faked it. He stayed in Lisbon, Portugal, using tourist guides and radio news to build elaborate fake reports about life in England. He created a network of fake sub-agents, 27 of them, each with their own backstory, handwriting, and location. He wrote false reports full of plausible but useless information and sent them to the Nazis. They believed every word. One German official called him the most valuable agent we have in Britain, and he'd never even set foot in the country. Chapter 3. Earning the British Trust. Eventually, British intelligence couldn't ignore him anymore. They realized someone was feeding the Nazis false information and doing it incredibly well. They tracked him down and finally agreed to work with him. From that moment on, Juan Pujol García became Double Agent Garbo. He was the centerpiece of one of the most important deception campaigns in military history. He didn't just send fake messages, he managed an entire illusion. Through Garbo, the Allies fed the Nazis a carefully crafted narrative, one that would lead to the biggest misdirection of World War II. Hey, you're here for bold stories, and we've got plenty more coming. Smash that like button, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and drop a comment to tell us what hit you hardest in this episode. And if you want to ride with us all the way to the top, subscribe right now. Let's make this the fastest growing channel of 2025. It's a community, and you're part of it. Chapter 4. Operation Fortitude. It was 1944. The Allies were preparing for D-Day, an invasion of Nazi-occupied France. They knew they couldn't just attack. They had to trick Hitler into defending the wrong place. Enter Operation Fortitude. Pujol and his network of fake agents convinced the Nazis that the real invasion would come not at Normandy, but at Pas de Calais. He sent hundreds of messages, each building on the last. His fictional agents reported troop movements, ship locations, and supply chain chatter, all fabricated. The Nazis bought it. They moved tanks, troops, and air support away from Normandy. Even after D-Day had begun, Hitler kept his forces stationed at Calais for weeks, waiting for an invasion that would never come. That delay saved tens of thousands of lives. Chapter 5. Hitler's Medal, Churchill's Silence. Juan Pujol García was the only man in history to receive medals from both Adolf Hitler and King George VI. To the Nazis, he was a loyal servant. To the British, he he was a ghost in the machine. And yet, he was never publicly celebrated. British intelligence kept his identity a secret long after the war ended. He disappeared into anonymity. Everyone assumed he was dead. Even his wife and children believed he'd passed. But Juan Pujol García was very much alive. Chapter 6. The Man Who Vanished. After the war, Garbo feared Nazi retaliation, so MI5 helped him fake his own death in Angola. He took a new identity and lived in Venezuela, running a bookstore. For nearly 40 years, no one knew he was alive. Then, in the 1980s, a British historian tracked him down. The story exploded. Garbo was brought back to Britain, honoured privately, and quietly returned to his life of obscurity. He died in 1988. The man who fooled Hitler never asked for recognition, because true spies don't seek applause, they seek results. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Ali. Juan Pujol García didn't use violence to win a war. He used imagination. He built an empire of lies that reshaped history. And perhaps the most shocking part, he was never trained, never armed, never backed by power. He was just determined. Determined to stop evil. Determined to make a difference. And he did. His story reminds us that in a world obsessed with brute force, there is power in subtlety, power in patience, and immense power in persuasion. Another chapter closed, but the story is far from over. Subscribe to Bold Chapter and never miss what's next. Juan Pujol García was a man of fiction, who lived a real life more unbelievable than any novel. He fooled a dictator. He protected an army. He changed the outcome of a war, not by shouting, but by whispering all the right lies. This was today's Bold Chapter. If the idea of a man deceiving Hitler with fake letters and a paper trail of fiction blew your mind, imagine what other truths history is hiding. Hit subscribe. Follow for more stories like this. And remember, sometimes the greatest warriors never lift a sword.